Daycare by Larissa Brewington. Characters: Janice, caregiver and ex wife of Franklin, late 60s. Franklin, disabled, living at home, ex husband to Janice, early 70s. Setting: present day, Franklin's apartment. Keys jingle in the door of an apartment. A man lies in a single bed. A wheelchair sits at stage right near the bed. A woman enters carrying a newspaper and takeout bag from a fancy restaurant. She puts them on a dining room table, stage left. She starts banging things around a bit. The man rolls over and loudly clears his throat. The woman pauses and gives him a look. She goes back to banging things around as she puts things away. Abruptly discontinuing her activity, she stands close to the bed.
Franklin, it's time to get out of bed and start the day.
No.
I let you linger an extra hour. It's time.
I said no.
Are you sick?
Of you, yes.
Oh, so we're going to have one of those mornings then.
If you have to ask, then you already know the answer.
Why?
You know why. Don't play games. I asked you for one day, Janice. Are you going to give me my one day?
We discussed this.
Answer me.
I can't give you a day, Franklin. I gave you an extra hour this morning. It also comes down to the fact that people who have jobs and work for a living get a day. You don't get a day. Not on my watch.
Your watch? Like you own all the time there is? You just love it, don't you?
And what am I supposed to be so in love with, Franklin?
Coming over here every day, having to take care of me being completely at your will. You just love it.
Oh, really? Oh, of course, there's nothing else I'd rather do than care for a grumpy old geezer. There isn't another thing in my life that I need to worry about, like, say, my husband and my kids. No, I only think about taking care of you.
Yes, you're in charge. Even when we were married, still bossy. Okay, I'll give that to you. You're in charge.
When have I ever been bossy with you? And what does our marriage have to do with this?
It's your attitude, Janice.
And what attitude is that, Franklin?
Not giving me my day. One day alone without you hovering, watching my every move. Creepy.
You know I can't do that.
You're gonna just hate it when you won't be able to boss me around this time next week. I'll finally be out of your hair.
It'll be a party.
I asked you for one day, just one
Stop
day.
it with the damn day, would you? You know what? I'm not letting you get to me today. Not today, Franklin. I'm going to keep this pleasant if it kills both of us. Now, get out of that bed.
Franklin rolls over on the bed. Janice groans, then proceeds to rifle through the fancy restaurant bag.
By the way, despite how horrible you've been acting the last day or so, I wanted to do something special. So I ordered from Carmichael's for our last meal together.
Good for you.
Good for us.
Did you get me something?
No. I'm going to eat my eggs Benedict and hash browns from Carmichael's right in front of you. It'll serve you right. Of course I got you something. Now, stop trying to ruin our last meal together.
I want to eat at the table today.
Are you sure? You think you can make it? I can help you.
No, I can make it.
Franklin reaches for the wheelchair, just out of reach. Janice comes close, and he gently pushes her away and struggles to retrieve and sit in the wheelchair. Once sitting, he grunts triumphantly at Janice before pulling his wheelchair ahead and to the table, bringing the fancy takeout bag to the table.
Brian said hello.
Brian who?
Brian, the chef at Carmichael's?
I don't know that man.
He's Bill's son. You remember.
Just because this Brian person is the owner's son, don't make him my best friend. Saying hi to strangers, that's part of what's wrong with the world today. They all think they know you.
He does know you. He felt so comfortable that you liked him too. that he added the cheesecake for you to have later. No charge.
Cheesecake?
Yes, your favorite. He remembered you always ordering it to go all those years ago.
Remembered how?
He grew up in that restaurant, Frank. He was always there. And even though you may not remember him, he remembers your visits. Most importantly, he remembers you being a very good friend to his father. I'm glad you're embarrassed.
Embarrassed over what?
For being so rude.
Hey, I didn't remember the guy.
You may not remember him, but you could still be nice. I swear you'll never change. It was an act of kindness, and there you are, again, ungrateful.
And here we go again, you putting all the blame on me. I wasn't the only one responsible for that broken mess of history we call a marriage, Janice.
I'm not blaming you. Where did I blame you? And what is this about our marriage?
You know what? It doesn't matter. The divorce was too long ago to think about. It hurts my head.
No, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I'm a mature adult with some hindsight who recognizes that I did my best in that marriage. It didn't end just because of me. That's the difference between us. You apparently can't be mature yet. Well, distracted, I suppose.
Distracted by what?
Well, age, lack of coordination, lack of maturity, memory slipping. Well, I don't know for sure.
Don't you dare suggest that just because I can't remember some stranger's name, can't walk or see worth a damn, that I've forgotten how you were when we were married. How dare you? I remember all of it. You were the one who changed.
I did not.
You did. You were just fine before the whole yoga retreat, self-exploration, enlightenment trip, the one you took after our 25th anniversary. Came back a different person. That's what caused the trouble.
I became a little more enlightened. Yes, I recognized that life wasn't just about me being your wife and mother to the kids. I grew up. It's called becoming self-aware.
Self-aware. Oh, yes, that's what you called it. It wasn't self-awareness. It was arrogance.
Oh, and it made you mad. That is it. You've been angry ever since. You refuse to take care of yourself, get in touch with your own flaws. You blame me for your lack of awareness. You didn't want to know any more about yourself than what was on the surface.
What was there to know?
That right there. That is why we grew apart.
You were supposed to be married to me for me. You didn't marry me to watch me change, so you changed instead. Is that it? And it caused a problem. I'll never forget that. I remember. I'm as smart as I ever was. My mind is like a hammer.
Yes, a big, annoying, free-swinging hammer, out of control, knocking things over, just as it's always been. Self-absorbed, arrogant.
Keep it going. Beat up on the defenseless. You can't hurt my feelings. You feel better? Feel justified?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Why are you so combative today? Why are you acting like this?
I need a break from you.
I don't know what made me think that you are worth a last special meal. You don't care about anyone but yourself. You know what? Forget it. I have lost my appetite.
All because you hate admitting you're wrong?
All because you're a jerk. You're getting meaner by the day, Franklin. I convinced myself that it was because you're not feeling well, getting old, but it is not just that. We've been divorced for 15 years, and I have real, honest to goodness, inside and outside perspective and understanding.
You don't understand me. Not anymore. I've been a stranger to you for years, Janice. I don't know what made you and Ella think this whole setup, you taking care of me, would work. Neither of you even bothered to ask me if this is what I wanted. You've done all this out of selfish guilt, no doubt.
Selfish? How dare you? Out of wanting to help you, out of wanting to help Ella. How that sweet, kind woman managed to find a place in her heart for you is beyond me. She's a better wife to you than I ever could have been. Trust me, if we'd stayed married, having a hard time walking and not remembering a damn thing would be the least of your worries.
You just wait a minute. Was that some kind of threat? I knew it. Don't think I haven't been making sure you haven't poisoned my food. I bet there's something in this thing right here.
You're, oh, God. This is ridiculous. Oh,
You finally lost it. What's so funny?
we are. You are. I'm just. Look, let's just. I am sorry I didn't give you your day. I hoped that we'd create some nice memories to wrap up with before you go to your new home. But if you really want me to leave you alone and get out of your hair, then fine, I will. I can't go far though, Franklin. Remember, you may still be a hammer, but you're a hammer that hasn't got all its motor skills. Okay?
Janice grabs her cell phone and heads for the door.
I'll be in the lounge, just out in the hallway. You know the button to push on your cell to get me right away, okay?
Janice exits. Franklin goes to the bed and picks up a newspaper on the nightstand next to it. He begins to read.
About time. I'm a grown man. I don't need watching 24 hours a day. I've got rights. Think I'm gonna let you treat me like a child, an invalid? That'll be the day. I fought for this country. I deserve respect and damn it.
Franklin grabs his cell phone, finger swipes, and hits a button. Moments later, Janice comes rushing in.
Franklin, are you okay?
I'm fine. Let's eat our food before it gets cold.
Janice sighs as she sits at the table. Franklin moves to the table. He takes a bite of his food.
You won't have your day.
Yeah, well, no matter. I'm old. You're right. I've had plenty of days when it mattered. Soon I'll be in that place. I won't know what time or day it is. What memories am I fighting for? A day won't matter soon.
That's not true, Franklin. You have a lot of years left. You're just going into assisted living so that Ella can keep a better eye on you. Since she works there, she can take care of you. Then in 2 years, she'll be able to retire and you two can move to a house.
2 years? We could all be dead by then. I could be dead. It won't matter.
Franklin.
It's true.
And you won't be left alone. I'll visit. The kids will come and Ella will be right there with you every day.
I don't know why I keep ending up with women who have more honor than I do.
She loves you.
You did once too, and look what I did to you.
What did you do to me?
Oh, you ain't been nothing but kind this past year. And I've been terrible.
Not all the time. Well, you've had your days. But that's what caregiving is all about. I expected good and bad days, same as with my mother. Oh, this past week though. So what is wrong? Be honest with me. Just tell me what you're thinking. Talk to me.
I'm so angry, Janice.
Angry about what?
Because you agreed to help me and Ella like this. And then I'm angry because I had no choice. It's confusing.
Why did that make you mad?
Come on, Janice, I was a terrible husband to you, and I'm being ungrateful now. You had no reason to come over here and
You were my husband for 30 years. Do you think I would have stayed that long if it were all bad? Oh, we had our rough moments. The last 5. You know, you are right.
about what?
I changed. I wasn't as honest with you as I should have been about that. I decided that I didn't want to grow old, even though I saw it happening, felt it. I wanted to move forward instead of recapturing what was. I tried to force you to think the same way, and it didn't work. So yes, our marriage fell apart, mostly because of my choices.
It wasn't just you. You know that. I completely resisted because I hated the idea of having something new. I hope you know that it wasn't because I stopped loving you. I'm sorry I called our marriage a broken mess.
I know, it's okay.
I haven't said it, but thank you for helping me and Ella like this.
Just because you're my ex doesn't mean you're some stranger. You are a good father and we're a good provider to the family we created. Just because we are no longer together, well, we're still family.
Thank goodness for the kids. They gave me a chance to do something half-assed right.
We raised responsible, productive adults. It wasn't easy. We're lucky.
I've been thinking about it for weeks. And now what you said about this being the last day, everything could be a last day, you know? I never gave that much thought when I was 30, 40. Back then it was inconceivable. Now I'm 72 years old, Jan. 72. Now I see every day as my last. I can't believe it.
Well, they aren't.
I know it's almost done, my life, and I'm okay with that. I've had a great run, but honestly, it feels like it came without warning. Every day I get closer to that end, I realize so much. I have regrets, you know?
You're not the only one who's been thinking about how almost done you are.
Stop. You're much more active and vital than I'll ever hope to be. You did the right thing waking up all those years back.
I know I'm healthy, but I don't always feel healthy. I look in the mirror and I see this other person, mostly my mother, this old woman, some woman I used to side-eye in the grocery store, judging about how old she looked, thinking she should feel some shame. Now I'm that woman and I can't change it, stop it. The wrinkles, the silver strands. I get to my feet from a low chair and it's a struggle. I make noises standing up. Oh, I'll forget being down on the floor. Oh, we were so young once.
You know what it was? We loved our youth. Oh, I loved it, but we never valued it, truth be told. We took it for granted. You remember that time it was, we'd been married maybe just shy of a year. We went on that hiking tour, a hiking tour along the southeast coast of Australia.
Mhm. Yes. Oh, dear Lord. It was like Iron Man. Hiking, biking, was it surfing too?
Yeah.
Yes. 7 days, 6 nights of us just acting like we were training for the Olympics, and we weren't.
We climbed mountainsides and rappelled into mist. Rappelled.
Oh, I still have the bruises from sliding down that rock slab on my ass. Oh, thank God you grabbed me before I fell into an abyss. Do I remember? You saved my life. No, I won't ever forget. Now, me doing something like that would be a death sentence and suicidal all at once. Can you even imagine?
No, I can't even stand up straight without getting dizzy, let alone lug around a backpack filled with nonsense.
I can't walk up a flight of steps without losing my equilibrium.
Yeah. How did this happen to us?
Time moves forward. It's marching right into the future, dragging us with it. You have to prepare, but even when they tell you to prepare, oh, who listens to that?
Even when you prepare. Tired of asking people to speak up. I hate having to search for my glasses when I want to look at anything. I miss driving. Oh my God, do I miss driving? But you know what I don't want to lose?
What?
I could live without the memories of rock rappelling, but the kids, I couldn't live knowing that I didn't have you and the kids. Those memories, I don't want them to slip away, and they're gonna, and I won't even know. Being deployed, sent to another country for months and months on end, all I had were memories. I held on to thoughts of you and my babies as I poured all my emotion onto paper, letters that I knew couldn't express half of what I really felt. Coming home and seeing my family, those were such happy moments. And they'll be gone. They'll slip away.
Our family will be with you. We will remind you of all of it, me and the kids. I have to admit something else. After the divorce from you, before I met Carl, I had a moment.
A moment of what?
I don't know if it was clarity or what. Once we divorced, I tried not to care about our years together. I partied and had a good time. I was determined to not be one of those crying, whining divorcees.
Didn't care?
Yes, I realized that choosing someone, having kids, wanting to die old with that same person wasn't at all for me. After the divorce, I wondered if I ever wanted kids in the first place.
You did. We talked about it beforehand. Remember the list of names we had?
I do. But once I felt free, well, I wondered.
Free?
You were my first love, you know? Did you know that?
Well, I hoped.
Was I yours?
No, it was Zoe Phillips.
Zoe Phillips? You mean from Elm Creek, who transferred to our elementary after Elm Creek had that hurricane?
Yeah, I'd never been so mesmerized by red hair before or since. Remember she had that party, our first co-ed sleepover. Her parents had that enormous rumpus room. They put this 9-foot room divider in the middle, but down between the boys and girls.
How could I forget? I wasn't invited.
Oh. Well, she crossed the barrier after lights out. She leaned in, told me that I was the first on the invite list, and kissed my lips ever so lightly before she ran back to her side of the divider. She was my first kiss. The next day we were official. We dated for 28 hours. The day after at lunch, she told me it was over. She didn't like that I didn't brush my teeth before bed instead of in the morning.
Oh, that is hilarious. But I'm still disappointed.
I was devastated. I love Ella with all my heart, but I will admit, you were the love that made me understand what it meant to live. Watching our children being born, buying our first car, the house, going through it when my parents died, and then your mom. Loyal, compassionate, you, me, and the kids. I missed saying that after we broke up.
Thank you. You made me understand love. I understood my own truth, though, after our divorce.
Truth?
Before our divorce, I used to feel sorry for friends who had to make that transition from married to not. I felt sorry that they were so old and going to be alone, to feel alone. I never saw that alone time as liberation.
Old bachelor is common for old men.
And it's not for old women. Double standard.
You said you enjoyed being single.
Oh, before Carl came along, I did change my mind. The divorce felt like freedom. And I was kicking myself being so judgmental with my friends who were divorced. Now we were in the same boat. Then it changed again with Carl.
How so?
I had the kids out of the house and I thought, that's enough. I don't want to have to take care of or be emotionally beholden to another human being but myself. I'm playing the field. I thought being single and free of care was something I had earned.
I guess that's what freedom feels like. A person realizing they don't need to be attached.
Meeting Carl, I realized I was unhappy not being in a unit. I'd been a team with you for so long. When Carl fell into my heart, I realized I'm not the type that is comfortable being an old bachelorette cougar.
And Carl changed that?
Well, you know, he is such a family man. His presence, well, the way he gloated over his kids made me gloat too. I realized that I had been lucky enough to build something other than my career. If I hadn't had you and the kids, I realize that's not for everybody, but for me, well, yes. Being a wife, a mother, I have no regrets. I have to tell you, that made me feel a little embarrassed after I married Carl.
Why?
I didn't want to be one of those women who tied their existence to having kids and being married. I wanted to know that I'd built a life and mattered in other ways. I graduated from Columbia and I was proud.
You know, I didn't expect you to remarry again. Well, not because of some great love for me, but because you're so picky
Picky.
and exacting. Don't think I wasn't paying attention when Carl showed up. He was so much your type, but you made him earn his keep.
You make it sound like I was.
Nothing wrong with demanding proof of trust, but I have to tell you, after 3 years, I was about to tell you to cut it out and just let the man marry you. That man earned it.
Oh, I wasn't that hard on him with the things that
You were.
Fine. But I wanted to be sure. And I have to tell you, I regret not giving him the attention he needed sooner. And his family. I adore them so much. I love our kids, but having a second set, different personalities, being friends, but being family, oh, there is something so wonderful about that. Extended. I'll always love you, Franklin. Do you know that?
What?
You were my first love. You're the man I grew up with, expected to grow old with. You're the father of my children. I didn't stop loving you. I love Carl dearly as my husband. But what I have with you, it'll always be there. It just changed to something else. A connection that is cemented in time. That's why I agreed to help you and Ella. It wasn't out of guilt. It was out of respect for what we created.
Jan.
You don't need to say it back. Just know that I remember the good parts of life with you. Ella is an amazing woman, and I know that you adore her. I adore her too. I'm just saying this so you know.
I do. History keeps us bound. And though it's all changed, I know we're connected in ways that made my life worth living. You said he tossed in a slice of cheesecake.
He did, but for later, Franklin.
Janice, I want the cheesecake now.
Franklin, it's 10:30 in the morning.
I'm not a 10-year-old who needs to learn a lesson. Just give me the damn cheesecake.
Fine.
She hands him the box. He opens the container.
What's wrong?
He couldn't have included toppings?
Toppings?
You know, blueberries, strawberries. Damn, it's just dry.
I can't believe you. That man sends over a slice of the best cheesecake.
Look, I'm just pointing out that he could have been more thoughtful. That's all I'm saying.
And it's your right to say what you feel when someone is being thoughtful? Oh my God, Franklin. You don't even bother to acknowledge the fact that these people.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the gesture, but they could have done better. Maybe.
Lights dim. The end. Okay, you guys, my screen is not doing a thing. Wonderful. I did find a way to cut this out, so I'll just cut it after the. Let me close my script and see what happens. We can. Let's see. Let's close that and then.
So how'd you feel, Janice?
Okay, but I had a couple of bloopers.
Yeah.
I called you Frank.
Oh, that was okay.